Howdy folks, I am John. Thought I'd go over some real quick tips on rooting strawberries here. You know, strawberries are one of the easiest things to root. They put out these runners, they're called, and you really want to snip them off with a pair of scissors. I mean, it doesn't even need to be near the plant. You can just snip them off here and get rid of them. That way they put their energy into the fruit. Hey, yeah, Tony. But if you want to have other strawberries to share with friends, you know it's nice to share them, man. You get yourself a little pot like that, and you open it up, and this is just a regular garden, so it doesn't have to be anything special. These things root right easy. You don't need to use rooting hormone or anything. Now, see how it's got that little growth part coming out there in the center. I want to kind of cover some soil around that. You know, leave it like that for about 10 days, 2 weeks. It's got a runner coming out, so that ought to be took off. But I'm going to let it set for a bit right now. Got others here that you can just kind of tear them with your fingers, tear them off. Now, I made some cuttings a couple weeks ago by just putting them in this little bag, and let's see if they rooted any. I'm going to go ahead and snip it right there, and I don't know, I don't think we actually got any rooting. Nope. But you know what? You can tell this thing is ready to root. You could conceivably just set this down in the ground somewhere that you need it to root. Like for instance, I'll go here where we got a little strawberry bed, and I'll just kind of dig it in there a bit, and it will probably do just fine. I bury it kind of like that. Don't want to bury it too darn deep, but it should be to where it's pushed down a bit, and then that top will bend itself around. So I did two like that. Let's see if the other one can be found. I think this is it here. It looks like a whole plant, and yep, it's in a bag. Now, these bags, I just got them from the local crack dealer. And, oh yeah, this one took real well. See all those roots? So I'm snipping it with my special adapted thumbs that normally I'd use scissors. Let's see. Wow. Okay. I did that with a knife. Okay, so we got good roots there. Excellent roots indeed. This was just a little bit of peat moss. So what you do is cut a corner out of the bag where that little piece could fit in. For instance, here, we'd slip the bag down to about here and stuff the peat moss in it, and we'd slide the bag down to here. Hi, Tony. And put the peat moss in it, and then bury it kind of in the mulch, so it doesn't burn, because it's going to get super hot there if it's not covered up. Now, here's another way you can do it. Okay, now these are 3 that I buried a couple of weeks ago, and we'll see how they look when I do them. Now, in this case, all that was done is they were dug into the soil, and now we got whole new plants. Now, normally what you do with this is try to get it this far away and you can make a new row, but in this case I want to show you how you could just cut these away and make yourself whole new plants that you could then plant elsewhere, because these ought to have a little bit of root on them by now. Now, normally a person ought to use a trowel. Okay, now these aren't huge amounts of roots, but they'll do. These could just be put in a pot somewhere. I think I'll stick them in with the asparagus because they're said to be good companion plants for asparagus. So we've got 4 that we can put with the asparagus. Now, I talked about how you can make a new row, and that's what we've done here. When you see these, just break them off. It's best to use scissors. If you get them while they're smaller, they're easier to take care of. Sometimes they got this just right crispness to them and they break right easy. Now, this one I can make it into a plant here, and I could let this one go on further, but I don't like them overcrowded. And if I let this one grow to here, which is what I want to do, I can take that one out and snip it out on its own. Just, well, heck. Okay, here's something we could do. We reach over here where we got soil, and we can root it right on top, just like this. And then we'll put a little mulch around it to keep it cool. Now each of these will grow. One there, it'll come up in a week or so, and that one there, and that way we'll have this all filled in. I got another one over there starting because of one, and I don't know where that potato came from, but I like potatoes. It's hard to take it out. Same with that one. So I'll let them grow, and then I'll direct one of the sisters over there. They're called sisters. Now, as I'm planting all of these strawberries here and there, part of the thing to remember is that we have a lot of different species, a lot of different types of plants growing very close together. This also makes it kind of a pain for a lot of the insects that have to be specific about a particular type plant. Like the asparagus is kind of wide from the other row, and there's all these melons that are planted, but they're on a pretty wide spacing with the next batch of melons that are along here. Then we got a few melons on the middle, fig trees, we got the new strawberries just put in, we got asparagus there at the end, and these other strawberries I just put in that we just got, that we rooted. All I had to do was dig out a little bit of ground and stick them in there. They don't have to go deep. You kind of plant them about as deep as they look like they want to be growing, which is something you learn pretty quick. So folk, find somebody that has strawberries and see if you can get a couple of little rootings from them and grow yourself more and more every year and keep your own cuttings going. Well, have a good day. Have a good garden.